Hello, beautiful beings of light. I wanted to come on today and do a collective energy report as promised. I've really been called in so many different directions lately, and that's partially what my energy report is going to be about. However, if you saw the channeled kind of podcast that I put out recently regarding tethering, you can see that I've been really busy behind the scenes working with my team in spirit and getting some new and different kind of information out to you. And prior to that, I'd really been putting out some like channeled poetry, which also contains light codes and emotion invocation. So it can help in healing and transmuting energies if you do have, various different blocks in your chakra systems, or if you need to cord into a new energy. You can do that through those poetry productions. So, yeah, it's been exciting. It's been a creative time, and I hope to continue to expand the channel to include the poetry and just vlog posts, of my journey, and then, aspects of it that are more channeled messages and energy reports. So I haven't done an energy report in a while, and I feel like it's really important to put one out in this now moment, because there is so much going on in the collective energies right now. So, if you're drawn to this, then, this message is more than likely for you. If it doesn't resonate with you, then, you have discernment and free will, and you can choose another energy report. But chances are, if you're drawn to this message, there's something in it that is for you. So I have some notes here on the overall energy that we're experiencing right now. It is, I received two words, which were transition and convergence. And convergence is something that I've been hearing from my guides since probably about June. And they just were coming to me with the word convergence. And one night I was sitting out in meditation, and I actually saw like a clearing of the various different timelines and tethers. So if you watch that video on tethering, it's almost as if, in order to make way for the upgrade in our tethers, as we move into fourth and fifth density consciousness, but I'm talking about collective energies now. So as we move into fourth density consciousness on the planet for the collective consciousness, timelines are being collapsed in order for them to receive an upgrade, in order for that bandwidth to expand. Some of the lower timelines need to collapse and merge. And then from there, it was almost like a splitting off, or a crossroads, if you will. So there's a lot happening. There's a lot of like bleed through from other timelines. So you may be experiencing things that feel just that you've already dealt with, or that are coming back from a past now moment. And those are still remnants of tethers that you've yet to clear up. So they either need to be forgiven, or they need to be, cords need to be cut, or whatever the individual experience is. But there's a convergence happening in order for us to transition. And so that goes right into the three things that they wanted me to talk about, which are the highest and best of the energies that we can tap into right now. So again, if you watch that video on tethering and cording, there is a whole gamut of energy that we can tap into on a spectrum. And I'm focused on what is available to us at the highest end of that spectrum. So even amidst all the craziness that's happening, there is still a highest and best that we can tap into, and this is what's available to us right now. So number one on that is opting out of pendulums to create new templates. Opting out of pendulums to create new templates. So if you watched that poem that I put out a few months ago entitled Pain Bodies, it was really talking about, and if you've watched any mainstream media at all, or if it's come into your consciousness, then you know, it's really evident right now that there are pain bodies coming up to the surface in order to be cleared. And it can feel like, you know, there's not much we can do about these you know, these paradigms or these pendulums that have been, you know, institutions within our cultures or societies, you know, since what seems like the dawn of time. So how do we exactly opt out of that and create a new template? So, which in doing so then transmutes the energy of it, which is different than just, you know, opting out and burying your head in the sand, or opting out and doing nothing, or opting out and, you know, pretending like it's, you know, not in your reality at all, you know, because we do still, you know, have to function within the collective consciousness. However, it doesn't mean we have to immerse ourselves in pendulums and immerse ourselves in pain bodies. We still have free will. We still have a choice. So here's an example. So one of the ways that I've chosen to do this in my own life is with the school system. So it's been, you know, like really bananas with, you know, how are we going back to school? And, you know, when we get back to school, you know, are we wearing masks? Are we staying 6 feet apart? Are we behind plexiglass boxes? Should we be remote learning? There's been, you know, protesting and, you know, just a lot of chaos surrounding what is, you know, a very old template of schooling our children, and which, quite frankly, you know, needs a revision. It needs to be looked at. Something new needs to be created from that. So you can either immerse yourself in that, and for some people, you know, that's okay for them, and that's okay. But for me, for my child, it has not been a good fit. The school system has not been a good fit for him from the get-go, really. He's extremely gifted and creative, and as you all know, as I've, you know, spoken out about before, he has a lot of special needs, and the traditional school environment has never been conducive to a positive experience for him. It's never been the other children that have been at issue. It's been the system itself and the way that that system is designed. So in order to opt out, we chose to do an online school system that was a charter school, completely online, completely virtual. He was able to stay in the accelerated grade levels that he was in. He was able to opt into a foreign language. He's been able to have support groups and friendship groups through the curriculum provided there. And then in order to meet his emotional needs and his physical needs, we created a new template by him and I got a membership to the YMCA. And so we go over there, and we've been swimming laps and doing aqua therapy there. And it's been a wonderful time together. During the summer, he was taking swim lessons, so he was able to still be around other children in a quote-unquote normal environment. And then on the weekends, he has his best friend come over, and they can spend you know, have a slumber party, and you know, he's able to have his emotional needs met. So we've taken the old template, opted out of it completely, and decided to do something new. And we are creating a new model that fits everything within his wheelhouse so that his needs are met. And we're transmuting that energy because we're creating something new. And now school is becoming a positive experience, and it's something that we're doing together. And it's really brought my relationship with him, you know, to a much to a closer level. And yes, has it been, you know, a new template? You know, do other things come along with new templates, like time constraints and learning new responsibilities? And yes, you're building a new foundation. So it's not without, you know, the transition period and, you know, getting into its own rhythm and everything. You are building something new. So yeah, that's number one. It's opting out of pendulums and creating new templates. And so the easiest way to think about that is, you know, kind of like the tarot card, the tower, in tarot. It's like the old tower is crumbling and falling, and some people are just, you know, dipping out and jumping out of the building. But at the end of the day, even though it may seem, you know, really traumatic or really chaotic or, you know, really kind of all over the place, it's so that something new and better can be built. So that's number one. Number two, I wrote down here, is finding communion. And I received a channeled message with this one, so I'm going to read that to you. It says, call in your soul tribe. And oh my gosh, I had like the most intense meditation with that last night. You know, it's like we're all, you know, we all are the, you know, the royalty in our kingdom. And, you know, we all have a tribe or a Knights of the Round Table. And it's time to call in yours, to call in your soul tribe. It says we can get so caught up in radical responsibility that we forget to commune. Yes, we are responsible for creating our dominant resonant frequencies. However, why not create together? The mirror of our reality is always, always a microcosm of the macrocosm. So if the macro is reflecting harmony, separateness, and division, opt out and transmute it by creating the other end of that polarity. So I guess number two really just picks up on number one. It's, you know, when you're creating these new templates, don't forget, you know, to commune with other people. You don't have to go it alone, you know. And I've been so focused on, you know, being the architect of my own reality. I did that vlog post about, you know, journaling, and I'm like, I don't even know now, like 140 some days into doing it. But you get so caught up in constructing your own reality that, you know, we forget that, you know, we're social creatures, especially with everything that's going on right now. I think everybody's tendencies has been towards isolation. And there's a lot of different ways that we can still create community, even if we're separate and apart right now. So, in my own life, you know, if I'm going to use social media, I've been using groups. I have found like 2 or 3 really amazing groups that are aligning with my new dominant resonant frequency. It's like new kids to play with on the playground. And, you know, I'm just going there when I use social media. I'm not even going into the other end of that spectrum. If you think of, you know, social media as a pendulum and it being on a spectrum, I'm just staying, you know, in the high, light as a feather, you know, aspect of that atmosphere. And when I go on there, it's so that I can, you know, feel good and supported and in communion with other people. And I also can offer, you know, my wisdom and help someone in their day. And it's a great exchange of energy. Another thing you can do is just create like a chat group with a few people. I did this last month with 8 people. We for 8 days, every day would focus on that person's intention and manifestation. And we created this amazing chat group, and it was like complete strangers from all over the world. And it was amazing. It was like I knew these people for years, and it created communion. Another thing we're doing is we're, hosting a little like family get together for Halloween. There's people that I love dearly that I haven't seen in months. So there's lots of different things you can do to create communion in your life and to create a soul tribe. And the energies are really ripe for that right now. So that's number 2. And then number 3, what did I write down? Let's see. Oh, is mindfully create your reality. So, back to the journal and everything. My main focus is to get to a 0 point as often as possible in the day. I know now that my power comes from the now moment, from not being off into the future or worried, about a past that no longer exists. Like it's all now, and it's all happening now, and it's always now. So, when I find myself, getting lost in my thoughts or getting pulled into a pendulum or a paradigm, I'm using different things to like snap awake, wake up, and come back to the now. So I've started wearing this little necklace, and it's got 3 things on it. It's got like a finger rosary and a key and some hematite for grounding. And anytime I feel myself, getting pulled into my thoughts, I just use this as my reminder, and I use like one of various different techniques, whether that's, to say a ho'oponopono, whether that's to use the golden key method. There's so many different things you can do. You could use tools of revision. Like there's so many different, like little tricks or tactics or whatever works for you. But just choose something that pulls you back to the now moment so that you're mindfully creating. Remember, we're really in like a 0 point right now. And the choices we make moving forward are going to determine where we're going and what we're going to be tethered into. So although it seems chaotic, it's really an exciting time. And we need to be mindful about what we are creating. These are supposed to be new templates. We're not bringing in the old crap from the past into the now. We're creating something new. So in order to create that new thing, we need to be doing that mindfully. So that is number 3. Those are the current energies for this now moment. That is the highest and best that we can tap into. And it is doable, and it is possible. And some days I'm amazing at it, and other days I'm not so amazing at it. But you know what? I'm trying, and I'm mindfully creating my reality. So I hope that helps somebody out there. And love, light, and blessings to all of you. You're all such beautiful beings of light, and I appreciate you immensely. Take care. Bye.